How do you stay organized as a new mortgage advisor? It is a very common question to ask. It's a very common problem to have because this job has so many things happening at once. And so I'm going to talk to you through today. I'm going to share the system that I teach my one-to-one coaching clients when we're looking at trying to time block their diary to take back control and get the most out of their business so they can get more income and they can, again, more time with their family and all these type of things. Now, the problem is, as a new broker, is a lot of stimulus happening. The learning curve is very, very, very steep. And so the thing you need to be doing with all of this stuff is you need to be time blocking. Okay, so if you don't know what time blocking is very straightforward. It is effectively having your day, it's a default diary of the same day, every day, or the same week, whatever it may be that you have, and then you're blocking your time out for certain tasks. So that means that you've allocated time every day towards those tasks. If you do this, it's changed my life. I've been time blocking now for about 9 years maybe, and it has changed my life, like categorically changed my life, allowed me to do everything that you see today is done in time blocking. I'm literally recording this in a recorded time block right now because of this. Okay, so it's literally living, breathing example of it. The trick with this, though, is you've got to stick to it. If you don't stick to it, it won't work. So you need to stick to it in order to be successful with it. Now, that being said, what should you be putting into your time blocks as an advisor, especially if you're a new advisor watching this, because it's obviously where the channel's for. So the first thing you need to be looking at is, remember this time, the mistake people make is they put clients as the number one thing. They're like, we need to see clients. That should be the number one thing. Everything else doesn't matter. And actually, it's the complete reverse. It's complete reverse. And the way we need to look at our life and our diary is look at it like a budget planner. Now, hopefully by this point, you're very accustomed to a budget planner, being the fact that you're a new advisor. The way to look at this is, if you think we've got like committed expenditure, I think, or essential, committed expenditure, essentials, and then I think it's and then it's net disposable income, that kind of stuff. That committed stuff is effectively stuff you have to pay. There's no way out of it. You've got to pay it. So that is your bills. That's your mortgage. That's stuff that you're locked into. You look at loans and things like that. And then you have your essentials, which is things like food, it's things like, gym, whatever, anything like that. It's things that can change and fluctuate, but they're needed. Food, toiletries, stuff like that, travel. They are essential to live, but they fluctuate. They're not stuck at one specific cost. So you've got your committed expenditure, and then you've got your essentials. Then you have your, effectively, the way I look at it is your net disposable income. What's after that? Everything after that is for socializing, for play, for savings, whatever you want to do. Your day is exactly the same as a mortgage advisor. You approach your day exactly the same. So if we think about what our committed stuff is, then we have our essentials, and then we have our net disposable time. So stuff that we need to look at in this is our committed and our essentials are going to be things like, we need to make sure we factor in every single day admin work. So this admin is one of the big ones. So you're going to be doing a lot of admin as an advisor. You need to have that committed into your diary. So factor out time every day where you are going to do admin. Admin is where you're going to be filling in cases. You're going to be filling out the fact finds. You're going to be adding the notes. It's admin. Not to be confused with the second thing you're going to need to put into your diary, which is research. Research is when you're going and looking for the cases. You're researching the cases. You're researching who's good, who's bad. That's a different thing to admin. I see mortgage brokers often conflate the two of these together and go, oh, okay, yeah, this is I'm doing admin. It's like, no, what they're actually doing is research, or they just make the two together. Admin is literally putting numbers into a spreadsheet or into a system, putting figures, numbers, writing notes. Admin, administrative tasks. Research is doing research on the case to see where you can place it. It's very important to understand this as a new advisor, because if you later on go to get like administrators and support staff and things like that, they are not going to most likely do the research at the beginning. That's a power planner. You have an administrator who does the admin. A power planner does the kind of research. They're two different roles. So you want to make sure that you have it very clearly in your head. These are two different things. So you want to factor in time. These are committed times. You need to have admin. You need to have research. From there, that's your committed stuff. You then have what we would say is that the essentials. So the essentials would be, you need lead generation time. So you should have time every single day for lead generation. Funnily enough, right now, this is my lead generation time. I'm recording this. I record all of my content between 8 and 9 o'clock every single morning, before I start my coaching day. Every single morning, and pretty much 7 days a week actually. So that is commit. It's not committed, it's essential time, but you need it in them. So you need some form of lead generation, especially as a new advisor. You need at least an hour a day. An hour a day is enough, to be honest. You don't need more than that, but an hour a day, every day, towards lead generation, towards going out and networking, making content, doing something that's pushing your brand and your business and your lead generation forwards. That needs to be factored in, has to be factored in before clients. If you notice, I haven't spoken about clients yet. Clients are the very last thing. You then need to factor in responding to emails, responding to WhatsApp messages. So it's response time. That's another thing. It's like looking at emails. I do this myself where I actually have, again, 10 o'clock. It's like 10 to and then 6 is my times where I look at emails, is where I look at my response times, my WhatsApps, and I respond to those. I do that as a coach now for brokers. I did it as a broker. It's the same thing. So again, that's kind of the essentials. It's in there. You need to make sure you're staying in touch with clients. It's not committed. It can be moved. It can change, but it's still there. Then when you look at your diary and stay organized, you then need to factor in life. What are you doing? Do you have kids? Do you have a partner? Do you have a spouse? Are you committed to a date night? Do you have to take your kids to swimming? Do you have to take your kids to horse riding lessons? Whatever it may be, you have to look at this and go, where's my life into this? And I actually think this is more important than most things people realize is if you don't factor your life into your organization, you will hate your life. You'll hate your life very quickly. And so you do need to factor that in because it's very easy with our job, within mortgages, is to just lose that, to lose our life in it. It really is. And it's quite sad. And so for you, what we want is you want to make sure you're putting that lifetime in there. Now, if I showed you my diary, which I can't because it's filled with clients' names in it and stuff, so it's obviously confidential. But if you saw my diary, I have things like, drop my pen. I have things like call my best friend, speak to my mum. I have things like play video games. Anyone who watches me here, you can see I'm into retro video games. I play like 20 minutes a day, just allows me to reset. Just on basics like Sonic the Hedgehog or something like that, it allows me to reset. So again, this is life stuff. I've got 2 young children. I'm with my children every single day. They're at home. When they're at home, I'm with them and I see them. These are things that are factored into my diary. It's not just by a whim. If you want control and you want to build the life you want, as a new advisor, start now. Then once that's done, this is the bit that's crazy. Once that's done, the rest of the available time is your net disposable time. That's for clients. That's for clients. Now, what's crazy with that is that seems so confusing. But why is that if you do it that way, if you go, I can't see any more clients or I can't fit my clients in, well, then that's where you're going to identify problems in your organization. You're going to notice maybe I'm spending too much, maybe I have too many hobbies and my life is taking up too much. The rest of them, though, research and admin is going to be a thing. So what that normally means is maybe my expectations are wrong. Because that's what I notice with this type of role is that people's expectations versus their reality are 2 very different things. I know my expectations. I can speak to 5 people a day. I speak to 5 clients 5 days a week. That's kind of how my days work. And so because of that, I know if there's more than that, I can't do it because of the way my diary is built. It's exactly the same you have to do with yours. Make sure your diary is working for you so you're organized. If you feel chaotic and you're out of control and you can't keep hold of it, it's because you've said yes to something you should have said no to. And because of that, you're now stuck where you've overpromised, underdelivered, and you can't do it. And this is so, so important. So important. Because you will absolutely catch yourself out. Big time. That's how you control your diary as a new mortgage advisor. None of this motivational rubbish. That's how you do it. And one of the things within this is obviously that admin, that research, all of that stuff. And this is all tech stack for fact finding. It's pretty hard to do. And so if you want something, a good piece of tech or what's the best tech you can use for that, check out this video. I break down how fact finding works within that, what this software does in order to make it very, very effective. Definitely one you want to check out. Give it a click on screen now.